Coming up next, a woman whose husband was murdered speaks out against a proposed state law that would allow some killers to go free.
Here in Southern California, the Justice Department announces the takedown of a major cyber criminal network.
Plus, people around the county try to stay cool, and firefighters are on alert as an excessive heat warning is in effect. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CBS 8 News Live at 6.
Firefighters and first responders are warning you to put safety first as temperatures hit potentially dangerous highs across the county. This comes as temperatures climb into the 80s along the coast and reach triple digits in parts of North and East County. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Jesse Pagan in for Marcella Lee. These conditions are keeping firefighters ready to go. The National Weather Service has extended an excessive heat warning through tomorrow night for some parts of the county. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis will have more on that in a couple of minutes, but we start with CBS 8's Brian White in Escondido, one of the places that saw triple digits today. Brian?
That's right. Temperatures reached 101 degrees this afternoon, a real scorcher out here. Now, some people chose to take refuge inside the Escondido Public Library here, which is acting as a cool zone for people who want to get out of the heat.
The weather's pretty freaking hot today.
The heat was thick in downtown Escondido, not much of a breeze or much of any relief. A lot of people choosing to stay indoors and away from these hot temperatures.
I wear a ton of sunscreen on my face, and I usually go in the pool in the afternoon with the dogs, and or just be in the shade or be inside with the AC.
But the scorching heat wave didn't stop some people from hitting the hiking trails.
It just feels hot. I mean, yeah, it feels hot. You get all sweaty and yeah.
Kathy Moon came down from Murrieta for a hike here at the Daly Ranch Trails. She usually does a 5-mile loop, but today she decided to cut it short.
I went a couple miles. I went to the ranch house and back, and then I thought, that's a little hot. So I turned around and came back. I thought I'd do the smart thing.
Nice and hot today. I mean, I wouldn't say nice and hot, but it's hot.
Johnny Pacheco and his hiking buddy hit the trail too, despite warnings to take it easy today.
It's really hot. I know we're going through a heat wave right now, but we still hit it. We just made sure that we were nice and hydrated. Towards the end, it's getting a little rough up there, kind of some open spots without trees.
Kevin Quinn here took to the trail on his mountain bike, and he made sure to stay hydrated.
I got 100 liters of water in this backpack here, yeah, and I drank about half of it. So I drink plenty of water because I take precautions. I take it easy. I stop in the shade, wipe my sweat off, drink, so I never get overheated.
But for others who were less adventurous and just wanted relief, the Escondido Public Library was the place to be.
When we have extreme heat warnings, we have people who are experiencing homelessness out on the streets. This is a nice refuge for them to come in and get in out of the heat.
John Archer is a library associate here, and he says people line up in the morning to take advantage of this as a cool zone.
People stay in for the whole day, and with these triple-digit numbers, they need refuge, and some people don't have air conditioning, so they'll come in here and they'll just a nice secure place, relaxing place for them, and so they don't have that stress of the heat that's on them.
Now the library and cool zone will be open until 8 o'clock tonight and will reopen tomorrow at 9 a.m. Well, there will probably be a line of people waiting to get in because of the hot temperatures tomorrow. Back to you, Carlo.
Thanks, Brian. And an excessive heat warning is also still in effect for much of East County as well. Heartland Fire says it's been seeing an increase in heat-related calls. The battalion chief wants to remind everyone to stay safe. He says even people who are in great shape and who are really healthy need to take the same precautions as everyone else.
If your body is not hydrated, you're not nutrient filled, you are going to have issues, and up to and including death. This kills healthy people, and people need to understand this is a concern for everybody.
Firefighters and other first responders say they are still seeing people going out during the hottest part of the day to exercise. Brian White saw them as well going hiking here. They urge people to avoid strenuous activities outside during peak hours, and it's important to check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Brian mentioned one of the cool zones in Escondido. For a complete list of them all around the county, you can go to the help button at cbs8.com, where we have an interactive map for you.
Some good news, it will start to get cooler before Labor Day weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chase, you changed your name on me.
Did I? Wait a minute, I don't think so.
You know, just getting back in the routine here.
I know,
Here with a
so
look at your microclimate forecast, Carlene. No two ways about it, just hot out.
Yeah, it's hot out right now. It's going to be hot by tomorrow, but the cooler temperatures will arrive by the weekend. Taking a look at how we shaped up with our highs for today, it was actually 105 in Escondido. The same for Ramona. You also had 102 in Alpine. You're seeing a lot of triple digits across inland areas. We also tied another record for Campo today, and that's at 106 back on this day, and that was in 2009. Also talking about the 1-teens for the desert and warmer than usual temperatures with those 80s right along the coast. So we are still talking about that excessive heat warning. It's still sticking around through tomorrow night as mentioned, and also with daytime highs tomorrow 108 to 114 for the desert. Also upwards of upper 90s to low 100s expected across the inland valleys, including North County and East County. And then you also have that heat advisory across the mountains below 6,000 feet. And that's what daytime highs will be going strong into the 90s for Wednesday. When we take a look at those highs, they are going to slip a little bit by tomorrow, but still at that threshold to warrant that warning as well as heat advisory. And then the cooler temperatures are set to arrive by the weekend. We'll go ahead and take a look at your Labor Day weekend forecast and that 8-day coming up. Carlo, Jesse.
Seeing a few, Carlene, thanks. With the heat, of course, comes greater wildfire danger. Fire officials are sharing some advice on how you can get ready.
First, make sure to clear out dead trees or vegetation within 100 feet around your home. It's also important to have a go kit in case you need to evacuate quickly. That should include medications, electronic chargers, clothes, and pet food. You should also talk with your family about a plan, including an evacuation route.
Leave before our firefighters are coming in and trying to extinguish the fire and protect those homes.
For more information on fire safety, go to CBS8.com. San Diego police detectives are investigating a shooting that left a woman dead in Encanto last night. Detectives say just before 9, a man shot his mother and a dog at a home near Imperial Drive and 60th. When officers got there, they found the 74-year-old woman and the dog in the driveway. She later died. Police say the man started shooting at them from inside the house, so they called in a SWAT team. During the standoff, they say the man set fire to the garage. Officers eventually shot the man and he died at the hospital. Police have not released any names at this point.
A woman whose husband was murdered during a brutal attack inside their El Cajon apartment is speaking out about a proposed law in California that could allow the killer to get out on parole.
SB 94 would rescind life without parole sentences for some inmates convicted of murder before 1990. As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, supporters of the new law argue some inmates are simply too old to re-offend.
This particular legislation is a total disregard to victims and a nod to criminals, period.
Vicki Pettix doesn't like talking about the man who attacked and killed her husband 35 years ago inside their El Cajon apartment. The couple had been married less than a year. Steve Pettix, a local newspaper reporter, came home to find his wife being attacked by a man with a knife. He jumped in and saved Vicki, but he was stabbed to death by David Weeding, a convicted rapist who was on parole at the time of the killing.
The pain never goes away. The fact of what happened never goes away. And it's not just something you learn to live with.
Weeding was convicted of first-degree murder with special circumstances of murdering during the course of an attempted rape and burglary. Now those special circumstances could be thrown out if a new resentencing bill becomes law in California.
He was sentenced to life without parole, and I was good with that. Psychologically, I don't know what will happen to me if that were to change and he were to get paroled.
Weeding is now age 73, serving his time in a Stockton medical prison. Senate Bill 94 would allow murderers to petition for resentencing if they were sentenced to life without parole, if the murder was committed before June 5th, 1990, and if the inmate has already served 25 years in prison. The bill's sponsor, State Senator Dave Cortese, says SB 94 would apply to about 550 inmates between the ages of 53 and 87.
Research conclusively demonstrates that there is little risk for elderly individuals to reoffend or recidivate upon release.
Supporters of the bill say the path to parole would be a three-step process.
If the judge resentences the person, they would then go to the parole board for review, a process that takes about 10 months. And if the parole board finds them suitable for parole, they would then go to the governor's office before ever being granted parole.
The bill excludes inmates who are convicted of murder of a police officer, murder of 3 or more people, and rape or child abuse during the homicide.
What SB 94 is doing is disrespecting crime victims and their families.
The political action group Crime Victims United held a news conference Tuesday in Sacramento to urge state lawmakers to vote against the bill. It's the same reason why Vicki Pettix is speaking out.
To have this come up now is an incredible injustice to me, to my family, to all the people that love my husband. And it's a get out of jail free card for anybody that's been convicted of life without parole.
David Goffredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. The bill will go before the State Appropriations Committee this Friday. It would then come up for a final vote at the State Assembly within the next 2 weeks.
San Diego County now has a new child care blueprint, which county leaders hope will help expand access and the quality of child care. The main goals of these new guidelines are to have a well-trained child care workforce, to develop safe and quality facilities in lacking areas of the county, and make that access easier for families. The San Diego County Board of Supervisors voted in favor of a state bill which could keep Rainbow and Fallbrook from leaving the San Diego County Water Authority. The two communities have been fighting to leave for months now to get cheaper water. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe tells us what happens next.
The San Diego Board of Supervisors, in a symbolic move, voted 3-1 in support of AB 399. Supervisors heard from dozens of public speakers for and against the issue.
That motion passes.
The San Diego County Board of Supervisors has voted in support of Assembly Bill 399, which would modify state law and call for all ratepayers in San Diego County's Water Authority to vote whether Fallbrook and Rainbow would be allowed to separate. Some say the separation would cause water rates to spike for the rest of San Diego County.
If you're going to increase my water rates, I should have a say in it. This is not to say that Fallbrook and Bonzo don't have a right to detach. The question is, should every other San Diegan be forced to subsidize them?
The North County communities of Fallbrook and Rainbow have been trying to switch suppliers to get cheaper water from Riverside County. Farmers in the region say they have lost thousands of acres of crops because of high water bills, which have forced them to cut back on water use.
So I have about close to 400 acres of agricultural operations that are going to be potentially impacted by this. This is a matter of survival for the avocado growers in North San Diego County.
Groves will go out of business. I will go out of business.
Our region's water future will be determined and controlled by the state of California, not the locals.
Is if we stay in the status quo, more acreage, agricultural acreage is going to go out of production, meaning rates are going to continue to increase. Eastern Municipal has given us a lifeline.
We've lost in the last few years over 1 million trees and 10,000 acres of groves, and the high cost of water it's unsustainable.
The San Diego County Local Agency Formation Commission, known as LAFCO, had approved both communities' proposal to get their water from Riverside County back in July, which they claim would save close to $8 million per year. But now the introduction of AB 399 could put that decision back in the hands of customer if it passes. The state legislature is set to vote on the bill soon. If it passes, it will then head to the governor to be signed into law. Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8.
Thanks, Rocio. Still ahead tonight, as we deal with the heat here, people in Florida are bracing for Hurricane Idalia.
And up next, questions about who's responsible for broken mailboxes at a local condo complex. We're looking for you to get answers.